we've been able to say that personally to each and every one of you. Hopefully everyone will stick around after to continue doing so, but thank you so much for already making this event an amazing success.
This is, well, beyond, as Mandy said, beyond what we expected. I'd like to ask the Member of Provincial Parliament, Catherine Fife, to come forth. She has made her way from, well, from points unknown, at least to now. Pardon me, four-time representative for the riding. And, well, this isn't a political speech, but Catherine, I'm very glad you are here.
I think every smart person in Waterloo is in this room right now. And there's some good people in this room, I want to say. And I just wanted to be here today because this store has very personal connotations for me, but I know for everybody in this room. I brought my kids here. When people come to visit from Toronto or from other parts of Canada, I bring them to the store and I say, look, we have a real bookstore. And it's the fact that this store is still standing is obviously a testament to Tricia and to Mandy and to David and how much they care about community, because we have relationships with them. They have never steered me wrong on recommending a book. In fact, Tricia just told me her longtime secret of how to find the best book is you go to page 40, and if it sounds good at page 40, it's going to save me a lot of time. And you know, this place really is an anchor for our community. And in tough times, like for instance, if it's Doug Ford, you can tell him where to go. Books, for so many of us, have saved us, right, in dark times, when or if you're sad, or if you need knowledge. There's an emotional connection to turning a page of a book that you don't find on a computer or on our phones. And during the pandemic, we were ordering books from Wordsworth, of course, to support Wordsworth and to also save ourselves. And they had this system, I know many of you may have done it, where they put your book in a brown paper bag and put it out on the dock in the back. It was like prohibition time. It was very sexy. But I just wanted to say, this is a jewel in Waterloo, and we're very fortunate to have it and to support it. And let's hope that there's 40 or 50 or 100 more years for this bookstore. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Catherine. And next we'd like to ask Dorothy McCabe, Waterloo Mayor and longtime supporter of our store. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. It really is such an honor to be here. And yes, I've been a longtime supporter of this store. And to kind of pick up on where Catherine was just talking about, you know, what's made this store so successful. I really think it's you've survived the LRT and the King Street reconstruction. You've survived the pandemic. You've survived Amazon and online book ordering, and it really is a testament to the people in this room and others who aren't here who really made it a choice to support a store like this. And I can tell you just personally, because I have been a long time customer, I pulled up this email from like 2019, and this is why I love to sort of explain. I know everyone loves Wordsworth or we wouldn't have been here. I mean, it is the best name of a bookstore probably in the entire world, right? Yeah, the Wordsworth books, like, I mean, it's just so great. So I did want to also mention that Trish, in addition to being Trish and Chuck, in addition to being the bookstore owners, Trish also served a couple of years as a city councillor. So 6 years. Yeah, I meant to say a couple of terms as a city councillor. 6 years in total. So she's really has given back a lot to our community. And just on that note, wanted to mention that we have Councillor Mary Lou Rowe from Ward 6 here, and Councillor Julie Wright, who is the Uptown Ward 7 here as well. And of course, JS, who's the intrepid executive director of our Uptown BAA, who works really hard with council and with the city staff to support small businesses like this. So on behalf of all of us, I just have a plaque with a certificate to say congratulations and thank you for all the joy you brought us through your books over 40 years. So thank you. And it's a perfect day to buy a book and go and read it because it's about to rain. So, so congratulations.
I wrote a speech. I thought I'd left it at home. I went back to get it. It's not in my coat pocket. So somewhere between our house and here, there's a great speech flowing around in the wind today. I just want to reflect on the first 27 years of this 40-year span. When Tricia and I started, it was down the street at 88 King Street South. How many people remember that? Yeah. Oh man, yeah. We are old. And then we moved next door to 100, and then just after we sold, they moved in here, which was Ben's Camera, if you remember.
I do.
Yeah, so there's lots of history, but it's amazing to think that we are now the oldest business in this block. You know, how would we have known that 40 years ago? Like, next to Rorschach Flowers? Like, yeah. I want to say that what was primary to all of this was stories and relationships. The stories that we were selling, the stories that you shared with us of your own lives and helped us find the right book to put into your hands, having known your own story and the story you just read, and the relationship that built over the years in that back and forth. It's still the sweetest part, I'm sure, for all of the staff here, to put the right book into those hands and know it's going to change a life. I know, Mandy, that's become your specialty in therapy, right? Yeah. So I'm just so thrilled to be celebrating those relationships today with so many people that we remember. I did find something that goes back to 1999, and this was our newsletter that fall. Just a few author events on the front. On the back it says, "Why shop at Wordsworth?" So I'm going to quote a little bit of this because I think this is gospel that's still true today. Wordsworth is Waterloo's favorite independent bookstore, and with the demise of Readers Inc., remember them, now it is the only full-service independent. The arrival of Chapter Superstore at KW last year impacted existing stores, sadly with fatal effects on Readers Inc. We have had a drop in sales, but beginning in August, they have leveled off. We dropped about a third when Chapters opened, but we quickly came back thanks to your loyalty. So why should you support an independent bookstore? To preserve your range of choice in a culture increasingly dominated by global corporations. Independent bookstores offer fewer titles than the superstores, but each book has been carefully chosen to match the interest of the local market, not the homogeneous Canada-wide mass for which the chain buyers choose. I go on and on about chain stores. I won't bore you. Independents are owned and operated locally, contributing to local charities and sponsoring local author events. Profits are plowed back into your hometown, not to some distant shareholders. Independents are committed to books as the recorded essence of our diverse culture, not as mere products to merchandise like boxes of breakfast cereal. I think those words still stand true today. Thank you.
I can't really add much more to what Catherine and Dorothy and Chuck have said, except we had the best customers in the whole world. When chain store, big box stores opened up, we would get phone calls from somebody saying, "I'm over there, but have you got this book? Here's the ISBN number, and if you don't have it, just order it." We had you still have amazing people who care about this place, and as our staff give back, as the store gives back to the community, I think the community gives it back tenfold. and we retired 13 years ago. I feel like I need to genuflect in front of all of you, because you helped contribute to our retirement fund. But keep doing that for Dave and Mandy, although they've got several years left. And I just want to end in the immortal words of Groucho Marx. Outside of a dog, man's best friend is a book. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of our speakers for being here as well. It was very important that we had each and every one of them to share in our day. This week has been a lot of media, which is great. It's been a lot of media for us. A lot of places have reached out. And during that time, it's a great time for us to think, reflect on the questions that are asked of us. And one of the biggest questions this week was, where do you attribute your success to over the last 13 years? Why have you made it through LRT, COVID, Indigo, Amazon? What's the secret? What's the secret sauce to your success? And at one point, it was like, well, we did work for Chuck and Trish for many years before that. So all that we've learned through the last 13 years is directly from that experience. Because when Chuck was reading from the printout, which was wonderful to see, because I got to work on some of those in my earlier days working here, and I always thought it was like the coolest thing. We were making this little newspaper through the store, and we're sending it out to people, all about our author events. And of course, it's gone digital since then, so it's wonderful to see. But knowing that our success has largely come from, as Chuck mentioned, like the community. It's hard to say that the bookstore, it is a business, obviously, but it's hard to say if we're business owners or we're kind of keepers of a community third space that is co-created by the diverse communities that we do represent. Every book on the shelf represents individuals or community members or collectives that we know and we serve in this community. It represents some of our own interests, of course, too, but it largely is mostly about the people that we serve in this region. So when we say community and when we say that we're keepers of that community and that we serve them, it's that is the secret, if you can call it that. But it's also it's a great honor. It's a great honor to have done that for the last 13 years, and people keep joking for the next 40. I don't know that I can agree to that, but we'll do our best to keep the store here for 40 years more. I don't think Dave wants to be here for 40 more years. I would love him to. But with that said, again, I just want to thank everyone for being here today. It shows us that we are doing something right. We are doing what we should be doing, and we are acting as the best keepers of this very special space and this legacy business. And 40 years is just incredible. We're also floored by that. It is quite a feat. So thank you all so much for being here and being part of that celebration. Also doing a gift card giveaway, one of our biggest that we've done before. We're giving away 8 $25 gift cards. All you have to do is...
You have no idea what it took to plan all that.
No, there was too much noise.
Try to keep it down.
Call you back.
For 27 years, Mandy and I were very aware, I think, that, we've been given this really cool car. And if we drive this thing into the ditch 3 years in, it kind of is going to, sully the whole deal. That's on us. Yeah. They did everything. It's between you and me, and it's too late now. They actually paid off some stuff they didn't have to pay off. With all this said, back to administration, we are resurrecting an old idea. We're going to tweak it a little bit. The Words Worthy Award was around for a few years, and its origins was simply and this is how punk rock Chuck and Tricia. The Wordsworthy was given to an author, a novelist, or a work of fiction that was not on the Governor General list or the Giller Prize list, that didn't make the short list. So we could all say, well, what about this? And we kicked that around for a while, and then we said, well, they said, let's give it an award. We'll call it the Wordsworthy. Cool. And that ran for a few years, and then, well, it sort of went off the table. All of this is to suggest that way back when, everyone, those who were around, know that Jane Urquhart, the novelist and short story writer, lived nearby, and probably did an event or two back in the day. She is down for this fall. Her first novel in, I think, something like 6 years, comes out in September. Jane will be, because why not, our recipient of the Wordsworthy 2.0 this year. And it makes a certain amount of sense for obvious reasons, but it turns out she's got a kid who can write. The younger Urquhart is on her third book, or her third book is out, her fourth book is coming, and has put together the single best author appearance that I've ever been at. This was about 6 weeks after everything locked down in March of 20. Well, you can't do anything. You can't go to a store. You can't rent a church. You can't do anything. How are we going to do this event? We're going to do it in my driveway. I mean, that kind of thinking has to be rewarded. Anyway, all of this is to suggest that time really does march on, but in a really cool way, it kind of loops back. And we're very lucky that it has. Jane Urquhart will be here in the fall. Details are forthcoming for Wordsworthy 2.0. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much again, everyone, for being here. We're very grateful for such a full house today. It exceeded expectations, so thank you so much. Feel free to stick around, get some cupcakes, buy some books, and yeah, again, thank you so much for being here. We couldn't be here without you. Thank you.
in papers, words in books, words on TV, words for crooks, words of comfort, words of peace, words to make the fighting cease, words to tell you what to do, words are working hard for you.